think the level of concern is over the start right now?
For me or for who?
I guess we can start with you.
I mean, I'm not looking at 0-3 as the end of the world. You go back and you look at the history of the league, and you'll see who started off hot. It all work itself out. We'll see around game 20, 22, 23 what's going on with the league. But as long as I feel we're trying to trend upwards in most areas, if not all areas, then I'm gonna keep pushing. Even if we're going down, I'm gonna keep pushing. But I like some of the things that we did against the Warriors. I like that we did not give up and we showed fight. Because at the end of the day, if you expect to have a winning culture and or a championship mentality, it doesn't matter what the score is. You got to keep fighting and keep grinding. And we did that both times the last two games against two very good teams.
What's the biggest optimism you see from that game?
Right now, I mean, offensively, our guys, we've thrown a lot at them, but they're showing a connectivity early on that I didn't think we'd have. And knock on wood, watch it go away the next game. But we're doing some pretty good things offensively. Where we're struggling a little bit is on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, you could talk about the free throws or the fouling. That hurts us. And then, if there's one thing offensively, we're not finishing always around the hoop. But defensively, as a group, we can do a lot better to where we're not giving up easy buckets to our opponent, especially in crucial situations.
Mike, a lot of us have been around here for, a long time. We've watched a lot of these players come through, but Harrison Barnes, we've seen 3.5 years of Harrison Barnes. He does not look like the same player that we've seen in the first 3 games, but also the preseason. Is there anything going on there that you can kind of talk to us about or figure out with him? Because he looks like a different player.
Well, so the first thing is obviously I think Domas might have had 14 rebounds in the last game, but if you take the first 2 games, HB was leading us at the small forward spot in rebounds.
Yeah.
He's leading the team in rebounds. And so there are some things that he's doing that aren't sexy or that may not show up in the stat sheet. And everybody's looking at his three-point shooting and scoring and all that other stuff, when there are other things out there that he is doing to give him an opportunity to continue to stay on the floor for long stretches at a time. So, a guy like HB, I'm starting him, I'm bringing him out quick, I'm putting him back in, and most times I'm putting him back in, but sometimes I'm not putting him back in, in a half. And that's probably a little different than what he's had in the past. He's as a veteran guy that has been able to score in this league, he's had an opportunity to play a long stretch initially, and that long stretch usually allows a guy like that to get rhythm. On top of that, we've thrown a completely new offense, as you guys probably have known already, especially going through the little mini camp over there. We've thrown a new offense that's a read and react offense, and so he's not always getting the ball in his sweet spots too, to get an easy look, because if you get an easy look early, usually that starts a snowball effect or it gets the dominoes to fall. So there are some things that over time, when he gets used to what we're doing out on the floor, not only that, we get used to what we're doing on the floor as a coaching staff, where we can put him in a spot or two to possibly get him an easy bucket early to start those dominoes to fall.
Well, Mike, he's got a big body.
Does he come to you and say, what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, or are you just going to let him coach himself?
No, I'm going to give him space, and he's going to, because he's a veteran, he's earned the right to try to figure some things out on his own. But just like him and everybody else, I'm in constant communication with this team as a group and as individuals. And I'd be surprised if any of them said anything different.
Mike, HB's got a big.
When the lights come on.
So you say one more time?
Last week you talked about when the lights come on, old habits are kind of hard to break.
Yep.
Are you worried that with this 0-3 start, this team might revert back to some of the mindset of just like, well, here we go again?
I ain't gonna let them.
How?
I ain't gonna let them. Trust me. I ain't gonna let them.
More guys.
All right.
How much do you feel like some of your, like you mentioned some quarters or
what?
spurts, how much do you feel like some of those quarters or spurts where maybe you guys are not doing what would you like on defense is just like a normal adjustment to a new scheme?
It's part that, but it's part what he said is, we have some bad habits that we have to clean up. And, you know, it's my job to continue to coach them here and be hard on them. It's my job to take timeouts when I need to. It's my job to make substitutions when I need to and play somebody else, you know, or shorten somebody's minutes. So there are things that we're going to do throughout the course of this season to make sure that this is right. And it's not going to be a thing where I'm going to sit back and just continue to let the same thing happen over and over again. Now, having said that, the one thing that I do know about being part of this team is, you know, because of the I guess the lack of playoffs in 16 years, there's a little bit of anxiety around here, and I would caution everybody. There's a time to overreact and a time not to. And after 3 games for me, and I hope everybody takes my lead, it's not time to. There may come a certain point in the season where, yeah, okay, well, now, hey, we got to figure something out drastically. But right now, no. As long as we're trending the right way, we're busting our behind, we're supporting each other as teammates, we're embracing our role, and we're truly trying to come to the gym, whether it's shoot around, practice a game, trying to get better as a group. Hey, that's all I can ask for right now.
Can you talk about how you just approach the season in 5-game increments, and just why you think of it that way and break it into those smaller pieces?
So like I said, usually around game 20, 21, 22, 23, that's when everything really starts to settle in, you know, because the excitement of the beginning of the season has worn off, you know, and so now guys are in their routine, and, you know, you're thinking, okay, we got to get on a plane and go play on an East Coast swing, or we got to go play this team, back to back, or whatever it may be. And it's human nature that sometimes you look back and you just think, oh man, this is a lot, you know. So I want our guys to stay locked in and understand that this is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. But in the same breath, we can't be worried about game 75 when we're only in game 3. Like right now, I can't be, oh shit. I hope I can say that, but oh shit, we're 0-3. The season's in the toilet right now. You know? No. Okay, let's look at these 5 games. Let's see what we do these 5 games. All right. Now, if we go 1-4, 0-5, whatever it is, let's see if we can do a little bit better. But don't think about game 45. Don't think about game 72. Don't think about the playoffs right now. Let's be present in what we're doing, and the best way to do that, in my opinion, like I said, is to highlight or break the season up into mini seasons, so everybody knows what's in front of them right now, and they're not getting overwhelmed with where we are currently and how it's going to impact us 3 months from now.
Yeah, and you had the team all sign a poster in the